Hello, everyone. For those of you who are meeting me for the first time, my name is Gloria Ramirez, and I am very happy to welcome every one of you to this class. Today, the title is The Power of Positive Thinking. And you probably have heard many, you probably have read many inspirations or heard many inspiring messages about the power of positive thinking. So we all know how important it is, but I think at the same time, it is nice when we are reminded of how important it is. As a matter of fact, just recently I was listening to a program by Raymond Hollywell. His program is called Working with the Law. And I am fascinated by his teachings because he talks about one of the laws is the positive thinking, positive, I think he calls it positive thinking. And basically what he explains is that the law means God, okay? So to be in alignment with the law is to be in alignment with God. And obviously that when we are in alignment with when we are in alignment with the positive things, positive thoughts, and our mind is controlled in a way, and then it's quite um, clear that we are in alignment with God, because God is not negative, God is not pessimistic, God is not stressed out about his creation. He is happy that he created us, and he is really wanting to guide us in the right way. And one of the ways is by the power of positive thinking. So this program, I have been fascinated by it. I read it many times or probably listened to the audio many years ago. But this time it's just kind of, again, being reminded of what I already know, but it's a good thing to be reminded. And in this case, we are going to be reminded about a topic that is so important, which is the power of positive thinking. The author that I am talking about is Raymond Hollywell, and the program is the Working with the Law. And it's available for free because this is one of those mystics that lived, I'm almost sure, the beginning of the century. And I just don't know why, but I love to read the teachings of these mystics. I guess because they are quite accurate about what they share, right? And so Raymond Hollywell, Working with the Law, and it's many laws. And he said that the law is God, meaning that it's really being in alignment with what is perfect, what is beautiful, what is harmonious, what will bring us happiness. And obviously being in alignment with the law, being in alignment with positive thinking is going to bring great rewards, no doubt about it. We know that for sure. There is a quote by Norman Vincent Peale, who is another very powerful author of many books. I think one of the books is The Power of Positive Thinking, I'm almost sure. And he says, change your thoughts and you will change your world. Dear friends, the main message I really want to convey here today is that we have to be conscious, responsible, aware of the fact that our thoughts are creating our reality. And I am 100% sure that this is not the first time that you hear this idea, that your thoughts create your reality. So just think about it, how, if your thoughts create your reality, how important it is to stay positive, because otherwise If we don't stay positive, then we're going to create a reality that is not going to be positive. Meaning that if we talk about negative things, if we are not affirming health and good prosperity and everything good, if we are affirming the opposite, that's what we are going to create. If we are affirming all of that with our thoughts, and on top of it, we're putting emotion into it, then it's even more intense. So that's why we have to be conscious, attentive, responsible to paying attention to what kind of thoughts we're accepting in our minds. Dear friends, if they are negative, do not put yourself down. Always be kind to yourself. Always, always. But at that moment, say, no, this is not what I want. I don't want to think this negative thought. And you can do the pivoting process. The pivoting was a practice that I got from Esther Hicks, that it's powerful, and you can just do 1, 2, 3 at that moment and say, this is not what I want. What is that I want? What I want is to really, really foster positive thoughts in my mind, because they are creating my reality. You see how important it is? So you shift it around in a nice way, never putting yourself down, never criticizing yourself, always saying, I can do better, and let's do the pivoting process. Pivot means to turn around, and I also call it the change the story. So changing the story is quite important, especially when we are having days that could be a little challenging. We can just, if we need to do it all day long, turn the story around by affirming, creating an affirmation. You say 1, 2, 3. 1, this is not what I want. I don't want to think negatively. What is it that I want? I want to have a positive mind. Number 3, create an affirmation. I am willing to think positively about this situation. Or you can also even thank God in advance for a positive outcome. And this way, you're going to be able to really turn it around. Okay. The other thing that you can do at that moment when you have a negative thought is go ahead and say a prayer, a beautiful prayer about God, Lord, whatever way you call your higher power. I surrender this negative thought to you. I know that it's not going to bring me any good things, so I surrender it to you. And then you use an affirmation at that moment. I always talk about this affirmation that I like a lot, that it's so simple. I trust in the Lord with all my heart. So these are wonderful ways for you to really stay positive. The other way to do it is go for a walk and talk to nature. God in nature is beautiful. Or maybe obviously do some breathing exercises. You can just, for example, do like inhale several times like this and exhale. Do it like 10 times, and that helps a lot. Or you can go online and find your favorite author and listen to his or her message. So there are many ways, dear friends. So what I have a question for you right now. And the question is, what thoughts do you hold about yourself? And this question is not a tricky question. It's not a question for you to put yourself down. It's a question for you to do a little bit of introspection, okay? What thoughts do you hold about yourself? And so are they thoughts of encouragement, or do they lean towards criticism? And so just be honest with yourself, not to put yourself down, but to be honest, because if they are thoughts of encouragement, that's very good. Continue to do that. But if they are thoughts of criticism, then that is time for you to just say, no, this is not a good idea. I'm going to go ahead and stop all criticism right now, because remember that we do make mistakes, obviously, but we do not have the right to put ourselves down because we make mistakes. All we have to do is just say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. If we have to apologize, we apologize, or if we have to make amends or whatever. But the key here is to do better next time, to not continue having the same habit, changing the habit. That's the secret. And then that's how we are able to shift the energy. And then the question to you is, what thoughts do you hold about others? Are they thoughts of encouragement, or do they lean towards criticism? And think about that. It might be that you say, well, I do my best to really think positively about others. That's very nice, including family, okay? Family members, mother and father and children and everyone, okay? So it's not only some people that we like, that we have positive thoughts about them, everyone. So do you have positive thoughts about everyone, including the leaders of countries, including the new candidates for the presidency, in this case, of the United States? So you see, so if they are really, how you call, thoughts that are positive, that's wonderful. But if they are not, then that means that you also have to um, be able to be honest with yourself. So and then do your best to really consider that you can have thoughts in your mind of others. Doesn't matter their behavior or their political inclination or religious it doesn't matter anything. You can have thoughts that radiate positivity, instead of thoughts that are clouded with negativity. If your thoughts towards others are clouded with negativity, do not put yourself down, but get to work, because that's time for you to really honestly say, okay, I have to change this. Because remember, the challenge is, as you know quite well, that there is a law. It's called the law of attraction, or the law of magnetism, or the law of karma, or the law of cause and effect. So if you keep judging others, whether they could be wrong, quite wrong, I understand, but still, that behavior doesn't give us the right to judge them. Because if we keep judging them, what is going to happen, I promise you, is that we are going to attract judgment as well. That's the challenge. So we cannot be blind to the law of cause and effect. We can't. We have to open our eyes and ears and all the senses to pay attention. So if your thoughts are clouded with negativity towards others, you or some people, it's very important that you are very honest and say, no more. This is not acceptable. I need to start praying for them. If they are very wrong, the right thing to do right away is to pray for them. You cannot change them. How can it's not possible. But you can pray for them and pray deeply. And I have shared with you many times, that you probably know already, the prayer that is the harmony prayer, and is, Lord, fill this person with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. And you say 10 times for that person, and then 3 times for yourself. Lord, fill me with peace and harmony, peace and harmony. That's a very beautiful prayer that helps us a lot to be at peace with ourselves, helps us a lot to really be compassionate. It's very powerful prayer. So that is what you could do. But reflecting on these questions with unwavering honesty is very crucial. We have to be very honest, and then we can pave the way for the changes needed to embrace the strength to adapt positive thinking. So if we are honest with ourselves and say, okay, I tend to criticize a lot, that must go. Please, dear friends, do not give you any permission I am not saying that you have to do it overnight, but what I'm saying is that really do not take for granted that you have the right to criticize others or criticize yourself. It's not in alignment with the law of God. So therefore, what you can do if you tend to criticize yourself or others is to stop right away. To stop gradually, meaning every day, put the effort, pay attention, and then gradually you will see that it will get better and better, and then you will feel more peaceful because obviously you go to bed at night knowing that you didn't put anyone down in your mind or in your heart. You didn't close your heart to anyone. You might not agree with a lot of people that are not doing things that are the highest. I agree with you. Some people are not doing great things, but it's not our business. There is a God that is in charge, and that God can really, really take care of those ones that might be a little lost for a little while. Okay, so make sure, dear friends, with this part of the class today, that if there is criticism, if there is judgment, that you change it and you make the decision to say, no, no more. I can do this. I don't have to do it overnight, but I am going to go ahead and every single day really be serious about shifting the energy. And a story that I like to share with you is that I live in a spiritual community that is absolutely amazing. People are good people, very centered in God, in meditation, in serving, in helping others. And many times I go hiking with them, and my goodness, I am so amazed that we don't participate in judging or gossiping or anything at all. It's so amazing. We have all kinds of conversations about trips that we have made to other places, about flowers, about different things, but never ever about people and never about putting people down. I just enjoy that so much. I find it's fascinating. And obviously, I'm not interested in judging anyone at all. And then fortunately, they are not either. Otherwise, probably little by little, I would kind of have maybe distance myself from them, not because I'm better, not because I want to continue to be around people that are really, how can I say, respect the human race. Whether they are wrong or not, it's not of my business. And I always appreciate that when I go hiking or walking. Or yesterday, I went to a restaurant with six friends, and amazing conversation, so beautiful. Six people to celebrate. They were celebrating my birthday, and my goodness, what an experience! No gossiping, not judging, just talking about their trips and about different things, and just really positive. And again, I'm not saying that I'm better or they are better than anyone. They just practice something that is important, and it is to respect the human race. And that's what I am talking about with this idea of no criticism. So the other part that I wanted to talk about today is that often our minds are consumed with by worry and fear, and instead of being, how can I say, like center in trust and also in hope. And you probably have been there. I have been there, no doubt about it, that we just sometimes, depending on what is happening, we go to that ego control mechanism of fear. And we must be willing to just really say, no, this is not. I remember, what I am saying here is that we do have the power to say, no, I'm not going there. No, I am not going to ruin my life this way, because if I think negatively constantly, and I have thoughts of fear constantly, or worries, or all of that, I'm not going to create the best life here. And later on, I'm going to be feeling sorry, and in most cases, please tell me if I'm wrong. In most cases, unfortunately, we blame others whenever in anything that is not working well in our lives. It's like someone did it, or it was because, and we don't take responsibility that it was our own thoughts, that it was our own doing, it was our own behavior, it was our own actions that took us to that space that was negative. And so very, very important. These destructive mental habits really were not part of us. We didn't, this is not who the soul is. That is not, we learned them, and as a result of us learning them, we can unlearn them. We can get out of the hypnosis, because that's what has been happening, like a sense of hypnosis. So fear is something that we have to really be willing to say, no, this is not part of my of my essence, which is totally the opposite. And someone says fear is the greatest adversary to one's character. Can you imagine that? The is the greatest adversary to one's character. So meaning that it's against us when we live in fear, fear about the family, fear about this, fear about that. And then the next thing we know is just that we are consumed by fear. And then illnesses show up. Also like accidents. I mean, you name it. Anything can show up when we attract fear that way, by having that here in our brain. So to break free from the cycle of fear, we must be open to embracing a new perspective. Okay, be open, be receptive, open. Remember, in the Bible it says, be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind. Remember that? Yes, we must be transformed by here, have a new perspective. So the one effective strategy is to minimize the use of the language that says that expresses worry, worrisome language. Okay, so avoid language that is negative, that is fearful, that is based on being worried. And then instead, what we must do, place our trust in our higher power, in God, in whatever way you call your higher power. That is the way to do it. So if you are fearful for a moment, okay, get it out of your system right away and say, dear God, I surrender this fear to you. It doesn't belong in me, because you didn't give me a spirit of fear. You gave me a spirit of courage and a sound mind. Remember that that's what it says in the Bible? Okay, so go ahead and open your heart to this opportunity to really, at that moment when you are being fearful, you can say to God, I'm opening my heart to this opportunity for you to replace this fear with trust and with faith. And God will do it because you are asking God, because you are trusting, because you are opening your heart and your mind to be in that space. And then that is how you are able to place your faith in a higher power. So remember, work on this every day, and do not allow fear to take you down into a spiral, because unfortunately it takes you down in such a way that it can get to a point where it's more difficult to get out of there. How many times we have seen people that go into depression, and then obviously sometimes they start using alcohol, drugs, whatever. And you know what? Only because they didn't do anything to try to get out of that space that was fearful, negative, whatever. We do have the power to get out of that space. So yeah, there is an author called Howard Christie, and he once said, when your mind is full of God, your mind is free of worry. Isn't that beautiful, my friends? When your mind is full of God, your mind is free of worry. Oh God, that is so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. If we are full of God, we are full of the Holy Spirit, and or if you feel whoever it is that you trust 100%, if you are full of Jesus or divine the Virgin Mary or a saint, then our minds are free of worry. That's a very deep message for us, I think. Well, the next topic that I like to talk about is to embrace the power of positive thinking by being mindful of your thoughts. Well, I already talked about that when I started, and the here is very specific that I wanted to share, that release the urge to dwell on negative scenarios repeatedly. How many times we have really said the same things over and over that are negative, and we keep repeating the story, the negative scenarios. Like sometimes I have sessions with people where if I have had series of sessions, I tell them with all my respect, but last week you told me that, and the week before, and the week before. Don't you think it's time right now to change that behavior and start replacing that behavior with something positive? So a lot of times we do that. I love this story of Paramahansa Yogananda, that many years ago when he lived in Washington, I'm sorry, the ashram, it was called the Washington ashram or something like that, but it was in Los Angeles, right? And he had a lady that used to come to his services, I guess Sunday services. And one day he heard from her again, telling the story about an operation that she had in I am almost sure it was her stomach. And then Yogananda asked him how long was that she had that operation, and I think she said 20 years or something like that. And she said, you mean to tell me that you have repeated this story for, and he calculated 30 years time, whatever, and he gave him a number of 7,000 or whatever. And then he said to her, stop it. And that was the power of this master telling her, do not tell negative stories. Do not. Do not do that. That is so not a good idea, my dear friends. Do not put yourself down if you have done it, of telling negative stories. Do just keep loving yourself, but do not keep repeating the stories of something that happened in the past. As a matter of fact, I used to be a master at that, especially with the topic of my mother dying when I was 6 and a half. But I used to tell the story only for people to feel sorry for me. Most of the time, when we tell those stories repetitively, we do it because we want people to feel sorry for us, but we are not victims. We are not these how can I say, like that poor people that don't have any hope. No, God is with us, and if we are able to turn those conversations into faith and into hope, we can definitely change our lives. So obviously, in my case, I was able to totally stop telling those stories. And when I share the story about my childhood, I 100% do it now, only from a space of really sharing with people the victory of what has happened from before and now after. But I used to definitely play victim. And playing victim is such a sad thing, because we are children of God. When we play victim, we are forgetting our power, our essence, our divinity. And that is so sad. So what we have to do is remind that we are children of God, created in His likeness, and really be able to and to grasp what that means. And that means a lot, my dear friends. That means we have internal divine power. That means that we can really conduct our lives in a way that is very, very positive. So let go of really repeating anything that is negative, and surrender the need for complete control over outcomes. If you feel that you want to control this or that, go ahead and release the control. Let go and accept what is. Continue to do your best, but let go of the control. And then when you let go of the control, then God is going to be able to work with you, and His grace is going to be able to bless you with wonderful outcomes. So let go of the outcome, and then stay calm. Give your very best effort each day, every day, no matter what is happening. Do your best to become the best version of yourself, the best version of yourself, and trust that in divine guidance to show you the way. God is always wanting to show us the way, but dear friends, we have to be willing to be in alignment with God's law, the law of love, the love of positive thinking, the law understanding, the law of attraction, all those wonderful laws. So be willing to work with God, and let go of any temptation to dwell on negative stories, scenarios, anything from the past. Keep moving and keep focusing on creating positive habits. Put all the energy, all the energy in creating that positive habit. Another area related to the power of positive thinking, that's what we have been talking about today, is take control of your destiny by harnessing the power of positive language. And this is, again, all connected. Without positive language, then we basically day by day destroy our lives, our future. And so therefore, your words have the ability shape the world around you. But you have to be aware of that. You have to be conscious of that. You have to be conscious that any moment you use the I am, which is the name of God, you are using it positively. I am healthy. I am powerful. I am positive. I am a child of God. I am intelligent. I am good enough. Everything positive. And then the more you are able to affirm all of that, you are going to be able to create a beautiful, positive life. So choose the words really very well. Do not be, how can I say, like be attentive, be steadfast about choosing the right language all the time. If you desire harmonious relationships, a thriving career, financial abundance, and joy in your life, then it is essential that you monitor your thoughts and your speech and your actions. It is essential, because if you keep talking about illnesses and about how the world is against you and about how that person did something to you and the other did something else, if you do all of that, my dear friends, we move in the wrong direction. And if you had done that in the past, be willing to stop it, to say no more. I'm not going to allow myself to create a life that I am not going to like it when it comes around, because everything that goes around comes around, meaning whatever you send out, if the words are negative, they're going to come back to us for sure, because it's the law of cause and effect. So remember that is your reality is a reflection of your mindset. Whatever is happening in front of you is a reflection of what you have put in your mind, what is established in your mind. The good news is that you can change it if you don't like your reality. And so speak only positivity into existence in every aspect of your life. And I'm going to give you some affirmations, some examples. I attract abundance into my life effortlessly and easily. That is a beautiful affirmation, so simple. I attract abundance into my life effortlessly and easily. Or I am prosperous. You probably remember that program that maybe many of you have taken before, called the 4T Prosperity Program. 4T is for tithing of time, treasure, and talent, right? And so what happens is that you continue to affirm what is positive, and then it's going to come to you. I attract prosperity. Also, that 40 prosperity says, I'm prosperous, I'm prosperous, I'm prosperous. And it's because you are affirming you are prosperous. That is, it's very, very important to affirm prosperity at that moment. It's very, very important. And so now let's say that regarding abundance, I can say I give myself permission to succeed. A lot of times we feel that we have to sacrifice too much, or that we are not deserving, or whatever. So an affirmation, like I give myself permission to succeed, is quite important. And the other one is I create my reality with loving thoughts, words, and actions. That's a powerful affirmation to remember that we are creating our reality. I create my reality with loving thoughts, words, and actions. That's a beautiful affirmation that reminds us again that we must be attentive to our words, to our language, to our actions. And the other one, I attract harmonious relationships. We attract harmonious relationships by us being harmonious. If we have harmony inwardly, and harmony meaning that we don't think negatively of anyone, that we don't think negatively of ourselves, that we are at peace with God, that we have faith in God, then we are going to manifest harmonious relationships. But we have to, how can I say, like move towards that inner happiness, inner harmony inside. And the more we have that inner harmony, the more we are going to have harmony in the external world. But that happens by building it inside. And it doesn't have to happen overnight, I understand. But if we keep doing a little bit every day, then that is going to be an amazing opportunity to really create and attract harmonious relationships. So whatever it is that you desire, you attract by affirming. For example, health, that's one thing that I do. I say constantly, thank you, God, for my perfect health. I do that all the time. Thank you, God, for my perfect health. Thank you, God, for whatever it is that I am praying for. I just assume that it's here, not that it's going to be in the future. Remember not to pray as beggar, but that is a done deal. Okay. So again, I invite you to continue to invite yourself to keep positive thoughts in your mind, to use positive language, and to have a positive attitude. Why? Because it's for your own benefit, to create a life that is a happy life, a harmonious life. And that by being conscious of the thoughts, the language, and the actions, that's how we are going to be able to build that happy life, little by little, that harmonious life, one day at a time. And then what a gift that we give to ourselves, and obviously we give that gift to others around us. And so I'm very grateful that I was able to share with you about this wonderful topic of the power of positive thinking. I do have a blog that this talk is based on, and it's on my website, www.gloriaramirez.com, and then is under blog. And I also invite you to consider, whenever you have a challenge that you are not able to overcome by yourself, I do coaching, either one session or a series of sessions, and people seem to have amazing really outcomes from those sessions, not because I am the one that is transforming them, but it is the power of God in us that is able to create the transformation in them. So I'm very, very grateful that we were able to connect today. And our next session is going to be in the first Thursday of the month of June. And so thank you so much for your presence, for being willing to connect. And those of you who are going to be listening to the recording, thank you again also for your willingness to be connecting at this level. Thank you.